So let's see how to crack your physics exam very easy. Okay, so I have some simple tips for you. So today's agenda, first we will analyze a question paper. Okay, and we will understand how will be the questions and which are the sections and in which sections what kind of questions are coming there. Okay, and next one we will discuss the major topics, then arrange chapters based on the weightage, and we'll make our own formula chart after that. Okay, then the last one I will just give you is a method how to study for the physics exam. Okay, so listen here. This is how in the first page of your question paper. Okay, so as you can see here, in the first page, the important values will be given. So you don't have to by heart these values. You don't have to by heart these values. That is the value of mu 0, epsilon 0, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, mass of electron, mass of proton. All the values are given there in the question paper. So make use of it. Okay, now in the section A, so in your grade 12, you have a total A, B, C, D, E. You have 5 sections are there. So in the first section, it is multiple choice. Okay, in the first section, it is multiple choice. So in the multiple choice, as you can see here, you have 4 options are there, and each question carries 1 mark. Okay, each question carries 1 mark, and here total 16 questions are there in the first section, and out of which 12 questions are the multiple choice questions and the 4 questions are reason assertion questions. Okay, and the thing about this section A is many of these questions are previous year, they are previous year JEE or NEET questions. These all are previous year JEE and NEET questions. Okay, then coming back to the next one, and also the speciality of the first section is these questions are not repeating. These questions are not repeating. So CBSE is making new, they are finding new questions and they are surprising you from the first part. Now coming to the section B. In section B, you have total 5 questions are there. You have 5 questions are there, and you have to attend every question. You have to attend every question. Okay, so these questions and in section B is basically it is concept oriented. Okay, this is basically concept oriented questions will be there, and or a small graphical problems or small numericals may be there, but this is important for the concept oriented part. Okay, now coming to the section C. The section C is important for both derivations, both small derivations as well as the bigger derivations, and as well as it is mainly important for the numericals, mainly important for numericals and derivations. Mainly important for numericals and derivations. So if you check this question, as you can understand that, yeah, this one, you have to mention about the Geiger experiment. You have to draw a graph showing that. Then you have to obtain an expression. That's a derivation. And the second question also, as you can see here you have to find, here this is a numerical. This is a numerical question for the second chapter. And here the first question is a theory. First question is a differentiation between nuclear fission and fusion. This is a theory, but the second part, it is a numerical. And also this one is also a numerical question. So this section C is important for the numericals. And here totally we have 7 questions are there, and each question carries 3 marks. Okay, so when you prepare for the section C, you have to remember all the equations. Okay, so I will today's session I will give you some simple tips to remember the equations. Next one, this is also the part of section C. As you can see here, it contains 3 marks, and it's also a numerical, and also this one is a derivation. Okay, then in the section D, it is case study. So it is case study questions. So here we have 2 case study questions will be there, and in each question you have 4 sub questions. That is, here in this 29th question, you have a bigger paragraph is here. and as you can see here, you have this much, yeah, 4 sub questions are there. And remember, and in many of the cases, in majority of the cases, there will be no relation between this paragraph and the questions. Okay, so you don't have to, it is not compulsory to read this whole paragraph. It is not compulsory. Okay, just read this question, just read these sub questions, then you will understand. Suppose in the question, if in the above situation, it is like that. If in the above situation, the lens is behind the object like that. In that case, you have to read the statement. In other case, there will be no relation with that paragraph with the questions. So don't waste your time on reading those unnecessary paragraph. Okay, and also in this one, yeah, in this one also, this is the second part of second question from the section D. That is, here we have a bigger paragraph. That is the theory. It is just you studied in your textbook, you studied in your class. This one, the same paragraph is given here, and some simple questions are there. But what is the difference between these MCQs, these multiple choices, and the section A multiple choice questions? Here, these questions will be very simple. These questions will be very, very simple questions. You can simply answer it. Okay, this is some concept-oriented simple questions, simple MCQs. But in the first section, I told you in the first section, that is majority of the questions are the JEE or NEET previous year questions. Okay. Then coming to section E. So the section E is both important for derivation as well as the numericals. So let's check the questions. So here in the section E, you have 3 questions are there, and each question carries 5 marks. So here, listen. In this one, in the A part, we have some theory are there. Like here we have some theories, right? Theories, some derivations are there. So in this case, we have only derivation is there, but in this case, we have a derivation is there. We have obtained expression for capacitance as well as a numerical is there. Okay, so this question is from electromagnetic induction or alternating current, from that part. And here, this question is from the electrostatic potential or electrostatic potential and capacitance, that chapter. Then this question, so first here we have the derivation, and second one, this is the numerical, and this is also from electrostatics. Okay, then the 33rd question. Here, as you can see here, this is draw a ray diagram, just a theory question, just another theory question, and this is a numerical. And this is from optics. And this one is also from the wave optics. This is from ray optics, and this is from wave optics. So if you check every previous year question paper, you can see a question from the optics, in the ray optics as well as in the wave optics. So you can see a question from the optics in the section E, that is 5 marks. Okay, and also a question from the electrostatics, electricity, or the moving charges and magnetism, the 4th chapter. From these 3 chapters, there will be a section E question from the 1st chapter, or from the 2nd chapter, or from the 4th chapter. Understood? So the electrostatics, current, electricity, and the 4th chapter, moving charges and magnetism, these chapters are very important for section E, and as well as the optics chapters, that is the wave optics and ray optics. These chapters are also important for the section E. Okay, so this is the basic idea about the question paper. Now I've just concluded that. So section A, it is, when compared to all other sections, this is the hardest section. Section A. And this is mainly previous year JEE or NEET questions. But I'm not saying that all questions are previous year NEET or JEE. Like if we have 16 questions are there, so out of which 7 questions will be JEE or NEET previous year questions. Okay, the next one, section B. So section B is concept oriented 2-mark small questions. So when you are preparing for the section B, you have to look for the basic definitions, basic laws, and small numericals. Okay. And about section C. So in the section C, you already saw that there is a that is mainly focusing on the numericals. It is focusing on the numericals. So you have to remember the concepts. Then the equations. I mean, in your grade 12, you have many equations are there. I know that many equations are there. So you have to remember all the equations and remember the derivations. Okay, so this portion is this section is important for both equations and derivations. And the section D, that is concept oriented, that is case study. So I told you that the section D will be simple when compared to the section A. Okay, but the questions, when you read the questions, you won't understand anything, but you have to read it 2 or 3 times, then you will understand that. It will be very concept oriented, simple questions. Okay, if there is a numerical, you can find the answer in 1 or 2 steps in the section D. Okay, but not about section A. Section A is very different. Then next one, section E. So in the section E, already saw that there will be derivations are there, numericals are there. So the important chapters for the section E is, first one is optics. So optics contains 2 chapters, ray optics and wave optics. You can expect, surely you can expect 1 question from optics in section E. So if you study this part, you get 5 marks in the section E already. The next one, you can expect a question from the first chapter, that is electrostatics, from the first chapter and second chapter, that is electrostatics. Then third chapter is current electricity. The fourth chapter is moving charges and magnetism. So from these first 4 chapters, you can expect 1 question from the first 4 chapters. That is from the current, from the electric field and the magnetism. Understood? So these are compulsory. These questions will be there. Definitely these questions will be there. Okay. Now the third major area is like electromagnetic induction and alternating current. Or in sometimes it will be from nuclear physics. It will be from nuclear physics in some question paper. But these two portions, surely I am telling you that there definitely there will be a question from the optics and from the electric field and the magnetism. Understood? So third one we can't predict. The other question we can't predict. It may be from EMI, it may be from alternating current, or it may be from atoms, nuclei, and dual nature. The third one we can't predict. But for the first 2, we can predict. It will be from optics and it will be from electric field and the magnetism. Okay, then the chapter weightage. Okay, so look at here. So here the first part, it is electrostatic current. I mean statics and the electric current. That is the first 3 chapters. So the first 3 chapters has a weightage of 22.8%. 22.8% means around 16 marks. No, around 17 marks. Okay, around 17 marks, 16 to 17 marks. Okay, and the magnetism, 1 minute. Yeah, and the magnetism part, sorry guys. Yeah, and the magnetism also, it is 24%, like 24% for the magnetism. Then electromagnetic waves, you have a small chapter, EM waves, only 1 or 2 pages are there. Like electromagnetic waves as well as the optics, wave optics and ray optics. This is the important thing. This is the important thing. As you can see here, this is the important portion in your grade 12. And this part, this is just the nuclear physics, like the simple 2 chapters are the nuclear physics, like atoms, nuclei, and the dual nature. And the last one, this small portion, this is only 10% is the, sorry, only 10% is the for the semiconductors. For the semiconductors. Okay, so this is the weightage of the chapters. So this is the weightage of the chapters. So you can see here the first electrostatics and current electricity. So here both these chapters, both the first 3 chapters, we can expect questions. We can expect questions for 16 marks from the first 3 chapters. Okay, this is the first chapter, second chapter, and third chapter. Okay, then in the magnetism part, in the magnetism, we say here it is the 4th chapter, moving charge and magnetism and matter, electromagnetic induction, alternating current. So here each section is divided as magnetic effects of electric current and magnetism. That is, electromagnetic induction is also a part of this one. Understood. So this part is you can expect 17 marks from all these chapters. Okay. Then the next one is optics. I told you EM waves, electromagnetic waves, then ray optics and wave optics. Ray optics and wave optics. So from this chapter, we have 18 marks. 18 marks. So the thing about the ray optics and the wave optics is, if you know the equation, if you have the simple concept, you can answer the question. That is, we can't expect very complicated questions. Like a question may be there from a telescope. If you know the basic equation, you can do that. And if you can expect a question from the Young's double slit experiment, single slit experiment, if you know the basic equation, you can do that. Okay, so they can't make that these questions that much harder. But in the electricity and magnetism, from the first part, first part, they can make hard. They can make the questions very hard from the electricity and the magnetism. From these two portions, they can make very hard questions. But from the ray optics and the wave optics, especially in the wave optics, they can't make any hard numericals. Okay, very hard numericals. Understood. Now the last part is dual nature of matter and nuclear physics. That dual nature of matter, that chapter, atom and nuclei. So together these chapters are constituting 12 marks. And also, sorry, this page is no, yeah. Also for the semiconductor devices, you have 7 marks for the semiconductors. For the semiconductor devices, you have 7 marks. Okay, and the specialty of the semiconductors is there is no equation in the semiconductors, that chapter. Only some theories, the PN junction formation, the hole formation, then yeah, the diode as rectifiers, that 3 portions. Okay, half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, then P type, N type, like that. Only theories are there. You can do that. You can score 7 out of 7 from this chapter. Simple question. Simple chapters. Okay. Now, when you study physics, when you study physics, you have to make your own formula chart. That is because I told you that in physics you have around, I think, more than 100 equations are there in physics. So to remember all of these, it is very hard. I mean, for me also it is very hard. So what you have to do is you have to make a formula chart for your own. Okay, make your own formula chart. Don't copy it from anywhere. Okay, so I will show you just an example here. Okay, so first I'm going to make a formula chart for the electrostatic charges and the fields for the first chapter. Okay, so only the equations. Okay, the formula chart means only the equations, not writing any theory. So the first equation in this chapter is coulombs. So the electrostatic force F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 Q2 upon R square. Right. Then next thing is electric field. Electric field is equal to we can say it is force experienced on a unit charge. That is the definition, or we can say 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 or Q by R square. Then about the dipole, So dipole moment is given by 2aq. So 2a is the dipole length into charge on any side. Right. Then the torque experienced by a dipole in an external electric field, that is P cross E. Then work done to rotate a dipole in an external electric field, that is PE into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Right. Then electric field due to a dipole at any point. You can make a formula for that. You can write a formula for that. Then after that, we have the Gauss's theorem. Gauss's theorem says that flux is equal to, or we know flux is equal to integral E dot ds. That is equal to charge enclosed by epsilon 0. Here it is charge enclosed by epsilon 0. Then by using this, we derive an equation for electric field due to a infinitely long wire. Infinite wire. That is electric field is equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r. And similarly, we discussed the electric field due to a sheet. Due to a sheet, what is that expression? E equal to sigma by epsilon 0, sigma by 2 epsilon 0. And we know electric field due to a sphere, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into q by r square. So like that, you just make a formula chart like this. But listen, this formula chart, for one chapter, for one chapter, you have to write the formula chart for one chapter in only one sheet. Okay, one chapter in one sheet, and just stick it on the wall of your room. That is when you when you sleep, the last thing you are seeing must be these equations. And when you wake up, the first thing you see must be these equations. Then this thing will be in your mind. You will never forget it. Okay, so just make a formula chart like this and read it every day and just place it on or just stick it on your wall. Okay, so like that you make for all 14 chapters. Okay, it will be very helpful for you guys. It will be very helpful for you. And some of you are trying for NEET and JEE, and this will be useful for those exams also. Okay, now let's plan for your exam. Okay, now, yeah, so the basic plan. Your physics exam is on 21st February, right? Yeah. So today it is 23. So 29 days from today, right? So total we have 14 chapters. And in some of the school model exams are finishing on 8th February. So we have total 13 days are there for the physics exam. But I think on the 17th you have physical education exam. For some people it's physical education exam, and for the other people some other exam may be there. So one exam is there in between. Okay. So we can say total 12 days for physics only. Total 12 days to study physics. Now we are going to chart. We are going to chart these 12 days. Okay, so let's start. So let's start the day one. Okay, so listen, guys. Listen. The thing about your brain is the thing about my brain is. So in morning, like my brain. I mean, I'm talking about my case. Okay. In morning, my brain won't work that much. Okay, so usually when I just study in grade 12, I didn't study at the morning. Okay, so the morning my brain won't work. So in the morning, I preferred theories and derivations. Okay, so in the morning means from 8 o'clock, I just usually wake up at 8 or 9 o'clock. That's okay. So at 8 o'clock, I will just start and till the noon, I will focus on the theories and derivations because I already know the theories. I already know the derivations. I will write it. Okay, so that will be that is useful for me. So this is in my case. But for some people, morning their brain will be working. The brain will be shining in the morning. Okay, so for them, just you can arrange this one. Okay, so this is about my case. So I just prepared it for me. Then in the evening, I am revising the same theories, same derivations, and I am remembering all the equations. I already made a formula chart before. I'm just going through it. Yeah, these are the equations in this chapter, like that. And in the night, so according to me, my brain is working very properly in the night time. Okay, so I am choosing my golden times in questions and numericals. That is, I'm using my night times to solve the questions and the numericals. Okay, so in the morning, I completed all the theories and derivations, and in the evening, I revised it, and I just studied all the equations. And in the night, I'll take some previous year question paper, or I'll take some question bank, and I will solve all the questions. Okay, so on the 9th February, so let's just study the chapters. The first chapter, electrostatic charges and fields, and the second chapter, electrostatic potential and capacitance. There is a reason why I chose these two chapters together, because these two chapters are coming under electrostatics. That is, the charges are at rest, charges are not moving. That is why I just chose these two chapters together, because these chapters are interrelated. Okay, so in the day one, I just completed the first two chapters, the theories, derivations, all the previous year questions. Then in day two, again the routine is same: morning theories, evening revising theories, derivations like that, night questions and numericals. So in the day two, we have I'm going to say the third chapter, current, electricity, and the moving charges and magnetism. Sorry, the current, electricity, and the questions from electrostatics and the electric current. Okay, now the current portion is over. Electric field, electricity, charge, current, that portion is over. So in the day two, I am only studying the theories of current, electricity. Then I am revising the first three chapters. Then in the next one, the day three. Day three, I am studying the moving charges and magnetism and matter. Okay, these two chapters, because these two chapters are about the magnets, about the magnetic field, so they are interrelated. So I just choose these two chapters together. Okay, then in day four, again I'm choosing electric field. I mean, first chapter, second chapter, electrostatics, then current chapter, then next chapter, magnetism chapter, and the fifth one, the magnetism and matter. So these five chapters together. Okay, I'm revising all the chapters, all the derivations, then I'm solving all the numericals. Because I told you that together you can expect a 5-mark question from the section E. That is why I'm just revising all these chapter again. Understood? Then on the next day, day 5. In the day 5, here we have theories. Here in the electromagnetic, I'm choosing electromagnetic induction and alternating current. So this chapter is mainly important for the numericals. These two chapters are important for the numericals. Or you can expect for the electromagnetic induction, I think you can expect EMF due to a solenoid, or mutual inductance due to two concentric solenoids, or self-induction due to a solenoid. You can expect a derivation, or you can expect a numerical from that. And in the alternating current, you know that LCR circuit, you know the impedance, that 1 by C omega, like that, L omega, 1 by C omega, that many equations are there, and the numericals in that chapter is very boring, I know that. But these two chapters are very interrelated, because the exactly the continuation of the electromagnetic induction is the alternating current. So I'm just choosing these two chapters, and these two chapters are important for mainly for the numericals. Okay, mainly for the numericals. Then next one, in the next day, I'm just choosing electromagnetic waves and ray optics. In the electromagnetic waves, I only need maximum 1 hour. Maximum 1 hour. That is more than enough for electromagnetic waves. It's a small chapter. Then, but for the ray optics, I will spend more time on ray optics, because that chapter is very important for the section E part. And also, there will be a sure question from this in section D also. Sorry, not section D, section C. Okay, so the ray optics is very important, and together ray optics and wave optics, we have total 18 marks are there. So this chapter is very important. So electromagnetic waves, I am spending only 1 hour, maximum 1 hour. The remaining all hours I am spending on ray optics. Then in the next day, we are discussing the waves chapter only. Okay, discussing the wave chapter, I'm discussing the theories of the wave chapter, and I'm just studying all the equations and solving some questions from the wave optics. And at the night, we'll solve all the questions, all the questions you get from the question bank, or from any internet. We are solving all the questions from the ray optics and wave optics at the night. Okay. Then on 15th February, the day 8, we have we are just this dual nature of atom, so dual nature of matter, atoms and nuclei. We are discussing 3 chapters, because these 3 chapters are very small chapters. Okay, and the number of equations are very less, number of concepts are very less. If you read it one time, you will understand that that's a simple chapter. So I'm not just reading the questions, but I'm just making make the short notes for this question, for these chapters. Okay, so just make short notes for these chapters, and you get many questions, many previous year questions from the internet from these chapters. Okay, so but the questions from these chapters, they have a basic pattern. Okay, so the numericals from these three chapters, they have some basic patterns. So the basic pattern, I mean, the questions will be in that same pattern only. Okay, don't worry about that. There will be no any twisting questions. So it will be the basic patterns. Then in the next day, on the 17th February, like I told you that some of you have a physical education exam on February 17th. That is why I just skipped February 16th. So you can study whole day. You can study on February 16th for your physical education exam. Now, after the exam, your exam will be over before 1 o'clock. Then you will be home at 2 o'clock, right? So after that, just study the chapter semiconductor electronics. So that chapter is just a theory chapter. There is no equations in that chapter. So just study the theories. Just be thorough. Just make it thorough. Then again, just solve the questions on the dual nature atoms and nuclei. Then on 18th February, again we are just solving the questions for solving the numericals from the first 7 chapters. That is electrostatic. I mean, first chapter, electrostatic fields and charges. Then electrostatic potential and capacitance, current, electricity, moving charges and magnetism and matter. Then alternating current, electromagnetic induction. So 7 chapters. So I'm just choosing the electricity and magnetism, the first 7 chapters, and solving all the questions, revising all the derivations, revising all the concepts. Now on the next day we are choosing optics. On optics means electromagnetic waves is the ray optics, wave optics. Then a dual nature, dual nature of matter and the atoms and nuclei. The 5 chapters. I'm choosing 5 chapters. So not 5, 6 chapters are there. Sorry. 6 chapters are there. You have choosing 6 chapters. And the semiconductor devices, you already know that. That is small chapter. Okay. So don't spend more time on semiconductor devices. Okay. Then on the 20th, on the just 20th February. So just quickly revise all the chapters, revise all the equations, just write important derivations. So when you study derivations, don't just read it, just write it. Okay. Otherwise, in the exam hall, definitely you will get stuck. Okay. So the method of studying derivation is writing, not reading. Okay. So just quickly revise all the chapters, revise all the equations and the formula chart on your wall. Just look at it again and again. Okay, then write important derivations. Like for some derivations, you may get stuck. Definitely, like we can say the derivations in the ray optics, like for the telescope, for the compound microscope, their derivation, their diagram is also very important, very tough. So you will feel some difficulties in that. And also in the ray optics, negative sign, positive sign, what is that? Okay, so just go to the derivations again and again. So on the next day, on the day 12, on the 21st, sorry, on the 21st February, your physics exam. Okay, so before before going to the exam hall, just feel relaxed. Don't get tensed. Okay, don't write exam in a stressed mind. Please keep just empty your mind. Empty your mind. Just make a smile on your face. Okay, just put a smile on your face. Okay, and also sleep well before the exam day. Like some students are there, like they will study the whole night on the exam day. They will be very sleepy. Their brain will be very stressed. So that is not that is not a good thing. Okay, because your brain will not work if you didn't sleep properly. And one more thing, please reduce the screen time. That is an important thing. Please reduce the screen time. That is, if you use mobile phone or if you use laptops, any other devices, it will just get your brain tired. Okay, that means as you can, I mean, if you touch here, if you touch at this portion, you can see a vein. You can just feel a vein. If that vein is bulged out, then you understand that your brain is almost tired. Now you need some rest. Okay, so if you use mobile phones, if you use any screen for a long time, this vein will come out, which means your brain is very tired. Then if you read anything, you won't understand it. You'll read it. Yeah, I'm reading that. I'm just reading electrostatic potential and capacitance. Yeah, I am reading it, but no use. It will not feed in your brain. Okay, so please reduce the screen time. Like if you're watching Instagram reels for 5 hours, please reduce it into half an hour or 45 minutes. That's enough for the exams. Because this grade 12 is going to determine your future. Like when you studied in grade 10, you mean some your parents maybe told you that this is going to determine your future, but not like that. This grade 12 is going to determine your future because your grade 12 marks determines in which college you are going to study. Okay, especially that your grade 12 physics concept determines whether you go for medical, whether you go for engineering, or whether you go for any other degree or any other courses, especially grade 12 physics. Okay, understood, because in physics we have maths, in physics we have chemistry. Clear. So the physics is going to determine everything. And I know physics is very hard, but if you study these topics very clearly, and if you are going for engineering, you are going to study the same topics that we discussed, that we studied in the grade 11 and 12. Okay. So all the best for your exam.